thinking through these things is really key, and a lot of it is now in the data, and like we've got so much more access to data. Yes, it costs a lot of money, but that's obviously talking to the right people who know, where to put that money to work for you is going to reduce that cost. Because a lot of people, they don't know what the opportunity is out there, and there's a lot of fear around it. And then it's because I know this because this is what I thought when I was, had my saved up my 100 grand. I was stoked, and then it was analysis paralysis. Like, do I rent this? Do I buy an occupier? Like, what confidence do I have? And then throughout my journey, I've now come to the realization that if you get it right, Rentvesting is a really beneficial strategy to your goals in life, which is generally passive income, retirement, freedom, time.
Also took me ages of having cash in the bank account to realise, like, that's not doing me any good. Like, it's really burning a hole in my pocket is what most people say. It's like, damn, like, I remember like one time I had like a decent chunk of cash in my bank account, and I was like, I didn't know that I didn't know where to invest it. Like, I had invested in so many, like, I invested in businesses, but like, I can't just continue doing that because I've got risk in that market, right? I need to diversify. I didn't know where to go, and didn't know the opportunity costs of property. Now I'm afraid you can.
Well, that's why you want to do this podcast.
Yeah.
But it's not, people listen to this, they're here for property and business. So, we're massive advocates of Jared's infinite loop, which is doing both. It's just that the risk component with property is a lot lower than business.
Absolutely.
But then, your cash flow returns out of businesses is a lot higher than property. But if you get it right, it's a really simple and beneficial strategy to help people.
Yeah. So we talked about, like, if you're in a position like where you're at, like, maybe it's not the best for you to go away and buy a home, and what you could do instead. But what if, like, it's different? Like, what if somebody does have 200k and, or say if somebody's got, like, I can access 300 grand and they can buy their dream home with 300 grand. But that's everything that they've just say maybe they've pulled or sold a property or sold some assets or pulled equity out of certain things, and they're like, I've got 300 grand, and they go away and buy their dream home. When is that worth it for them to do so?
Well, based on personal preference.
It's all personal preference, right?
Yeah, and you can take that. Like, for me, it'd be the data and the opportunity that I could see. Like, for me, I'm
sure Kayla would have some say in emotions as well.
That's what I mean, man. Like, it's not. It's you as a team, or like, if it's just you, then it's like, well, what lights you up? What's your big rock?
Yeah,
like, is it? You might really love what you're doing, and you're not driven to, I want to retire. I want that passive income.
You just would actually feel on a physical level happier in a home because you know you own it or part of it.
Yeah,
at least.
And there's a lot of sort of getting into the hamster wheel of life, whereas a lot of people always push you, buy a principal place of residence because it's secure and you can, you've got somewhere to live in the event of the world falls over. But there's also times where I get it. Of late, you've seen people that have been renting and then their house gets sold because the owner obviously wants to cash in, and then they've got to go into the rental pool and they're competing with a whole bunch of people and like trying to get a home, and it's stressful because you generally get a 2-month leeway into trying to find a rental, and then if you don't find that rental that fits your budget, it's quite stressful.
Absolutely. And not to be too heavy on the Rentvesting side here, my sister did mention this to me the other day. She's like, if I don't go buy my home that I want, right, they're having a family, and I go and buy an investment property, and it's a house, that cancels out the whole, like, if world turns to shit, like, I need security, because she can have a house that she just goes, she's investing in or renting out. She can just go, yeah, cool, this is my home, I need it. like if she's renting somewhere and the world turns to crap. So like as a rent investor, you still can have that security of somewhere to have a roof over your head if you need to as well. So that's sort of, not to be too heavy again on that side, but does sort of cancel that out as well. But I do get the feeling of like, this is my home, like owning a home in a location that you like, and like, I want to change some walls, I want to do some renovations, or I want to hang something up over here. You can do that.
You can do that in the rental too. Tenants put, like, you want them to make it a home.
Yeah.
And it's a conversation too with your landlord. Is, when you're going into your lease, what are your plans with this property for the next 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
You can even negotiate with the landlord and say, look, I'll sign a 3-year lease. I'll sign a 5-year lease.
Yeah.
You can even do a 5-year lease on a rental with a CPI rental increase.
Uh-huh.
Everything's a negotiation at the end of the day, but most people don't even know that you can do that.
I know that in Europe, what they do is they renovate the bathrooms and kitchens in their, like, if they struggle to buy, their PPOR, and what they do is they want a nice kitchen and a nice bathroom. So what they do is they will renovate it, and then when their lease will end, they will go and charge the person who is the new tenant a certain amount of money for the renovation they've done, and that cost just keeps getting pushed backwards, back to the new tenant, not the owner.
Cool.
It's an interesting thing that I heard from somebody that did that with their kitchen in Europe. I just thought, wow, that's a possibility as well, for sure.
Wow. Yeah, well, I mean, that's where my mind goes to. If you're a tenant, you can say to the owner if they want to increase the rent, so, well, how about we paint it and we keep the rent the same, or we replace the carpets and keep the rent the same. And provide the landlord the invoice so they can claim it on tax. Love that. But that keeps your cash flow low and you live in a nicer place.